Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Wednesday morning. It's the 19th day of June 2024. Juneteenth. Many of you will likely have the day off. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office, where as I look out the window, we have blue sky here, but there are some areas that have smoky skies first thing this morning. So I do want to provide another fire weather update for you. However, conditions are much better, and it does look as though weather conditions will continue to be favorable for the firefighters over the next couple of days. So again, two areas of concern that we've been looking at: the Sites fire in Colusa County, as well as the Arrow fire that's impacting parts of Calaveras and Tuolumne County. So let's start with the Sites fire. Once again, the app that I'm using, the site that I'm using here is called Watch Duty, and I recommended this yesterday. And for those of you that want to keep up with fire activity, this is a great site. So this is the outline of the fire, and as you can see here, if you can read that, it says the size is 15,565 acres. Now, well, let's see, what are they on containment? I think so. I can get some information over here on it. It says it has just 5% containment. Now, I talked about this a little bit yesterday about fire behavior versus the containment number. Now, a 5% containment sounds like it's very small. However, over the next couple of days for both the Sites fire and the Arrow fire, what you should be paying attention to is the change in acreage from day to day. So today, the 15,000 acres, yeah, it grew a bit yesterday, but we're not going to see a great change in that number, most likely. What the number that will come up is the containment number. So again, we'll likely not hear much about this fire probably after a couple of days from now, but the containment might only still be 40-50%. They'll continue to work to put a line around this, and they may not reach full containment on it until well after you even think about this fire going on. So again, the containment number isn't really related to fire activity, active fire that's going on. So they say that the fire was still pretty active during the night, but it is a lot less active than it was during the day on yesterday. So let's go back to the map. And the outline still really hasn't changed all that much. There are some areas that are continuing to grow slightly, and there is warm activity as seen on satellite here and there. But again, the overall footprint remains relatively the same, and there may be some slight growth on the sides as we see a little bit of breeze here and there. But for the most part, this fire probably isn't going to grow all that much. All right, so let's go over to the Arrow fire. And as I scroll across the map, let's go into Calaveras County, and here is the Arrow fire. Now, same thing here. The size really hasn't changed all that much. It stands at 5,351 acres, and this is the outline of the fire. And then these areas of red that you see in here are where we have evacuation orders and warnings and that sort of thing. And those likely will not be lifted anytime soon, even though you're probably not seeing a lot of fire activity. There is still a fair amount of smoke in the area, and they continue to find hot spots. But once again, the overall outline of this fire probably isn't going to change that much. And once again, during the day today, during the day tomorrow, just pay attention to the size of the fire at 5,351 acres. I'm going to go look at some more information here and show you a different map on this. And what I'm showing you here is the map that they have on the containment versus the outline of the fire. So this is where they're trying to build the line, and the black line is where they do have containment on it. In other words, they have full dozer lines around this, and they feel confident that it isn't going to cross this line. However, they're still building it in these areas in here. So as you can see, there's a long way to go before they reach full containment. And I believe the number they have on this is 20% containment, something like that. But again, it doesn't look as though we'll continue to see this spread in any way because the weather conditions will be favorable. However, there is still a lot of work that firefighters need to do. So as I mentioned earlier, pay attention to the fire size over the next couple of days. It's likely not going to get much bigger than the outline that we have in here. They may do a burnout here or there to increase the line. Sometimes that's what they do, but I don't think that's going to be the case on this fire. So the bottom line here about these two fires is that while they'll continue to smolder and put up smoke, they likely won't be increasing their overall footprint all that much. However, because they do continue to smolder and put out a lot of smoke, well, air quality might be a bit of an issue. So let's go to the satellite this morning. As you can see, there doesn't appear to be a lot of smoke coming out of Calaveras County. There's still a fair amount of smoke coming off of sites. This probably has much more fuel than what we have down around the Calaveras County area. But as you look aloft, you can see that there's haze in the valley. This is marine layer, of course. So we have marine layer along the coast, and all of this up here is smoke. So it does look as though there's a fair amount of areas with smoke. However, when you look at the satellite, keep in mind you're looking from top down and you don't really get the 3D perspective about where the smoke is. So with that, let's take a look instead at the air quality. This will take a second to load. And for this, I'm using purple air. So this is the Sacramento area here, Stockton and Modesto. As you can see, toward the sites fire, there are some sensors out here that are picking up big numbers of bad air quality. But if you look into Lake County, if you look into Napa County, Sonoma County, most areas away from the fire have pretty good air quality despite the fact that it looks very smoky on the satellite. So what that means is that the smoke here is elevated as opposed to being down here on the ground where we have to all breathe it. And the same is true around Sacramento County. And if you go into Calaveras, Tuolumne County, there are some spots with elevated levels of particulate matter, but it looks a lot better here than it does on the satellite. So that's why you need to kind of look at both of these, both the satellite and the air quality data, to find out what the just how much of that smoke is down on the ground and really impacting people. It'll make the air hazy, the sky hazy from time to time, and kind of dim the sun, but it really won't have much impact on breathing and that sort of thing. And also keep in mind that as I'm recording this around 7:30, 7:45 in the morning hours tend to have the most smoke concentrated down on the ground, as the smoke usually lays down first thing in the morning. In terms of the fire behavior, we'll take a look at the wind that we're going to see today. This is this morning, light onshore wind here, very light breezes through Calaveras County and very light winds through Colusa County. That's this morning. Let's go into the afternoon when the winds usually pick up. And that'll be true today, but once again, it's an onshore breeze. So in areas like Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto, today's going to be another comfortable day, with the daytime highs topping out in the upper 80s to low 90s, very similar to what we saw during the day yesterday. Let's go ahead to the day on Thursday. This is Thursday around midday, and once again the wind direction is the same. It's light onshore, a light northwesterly wind in Calaveras and Tuolumne County, but all of this wind, and with recovering humidity, is all working in the favor of firefighters. And then as we get into the day on Friday, this is Friday afternoon, same story. It's a lighter onshore wind, so Friday is likely going to be a warmer day. Temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s, perhaps in the valley. But in terms of wind, we're certainly not seeing a north wind. We're seeing winds that will once again be favorable for the firefighters. For this morning, yes, there are still some areas of active fire, but I don't see weather conditions that will cause any additional stress for the firefighters. I think the weather will continue to be favorable for the firefighters on those two areas of fire. And so they should be able to continue to build those containment lines. And once again, during the course of the day today, the numbers to pay attention to is the size of the fire. And I don't think you'll see a big change in the size of those fires, the footprints of those fires over the next couple of days. So while they'll continue to put up smoke, the numbers to pay attention to is whether or not the fire is growing in size. 15,000 acres on the Sites fire, about 5,200 acres on the Arrow fire in Calaveras County. So that's everything I've got for you this morning. Like I said, otherwise it's going to be a nice day. Sunshine, temperatures upper 80s to low 90s, a little bit warmer toward the end of the week and the weekend. So that's what I've got for you. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.